Here is the last part of the CD collection for 2025. I think the last part. If not, I'll put it in the third. So let's see how we do here. The first album for this part is Pearl Jam 10, their first album from 1991. I don't know all the members exactly, but I know that Matt Cameron plays drums and Eddie Vedder plays guitar and sings. And I do enjoy songs like Black, Jeremy, Alive, and Even Flow. Those are the ones that I love from this record. I need to listen to the other songs from this album. Here's my only Phil Collins album that I have. And it's my favorite Phil Collins album too. Especially In the Air Tonight, which is actually the first song from this album, surprisingly enough. And here are the Rush albums that I have. Fly By Night, the first album to have Neil Peart playing drums since John Rutsey isn't a member. And a majority of these Rush albums are remasters. Here's Courage of Steel. I don't like this album at all. It's my least favorite Rush album. "2112" from 1976. And by the way, Fly By Night and Courage of Steel are 1975 albums. The entire side of this album, 2112, is a classic. Highly recommend it. All the World's a Stage, which is their 2112 tour they made before Farewell to Kings was released. And speaking of A Farewell to Kings, here it is. A Farewell to Kings, which is their 1977 album that they made. Permanent Waves from 1980. My second favorite Rush album. I'm sure some of you know what my all-time favorite is. But if not, then you'll find out in just a minute or so. Or less than a minute, actually. And here it is. Moving Pictures. My all-time favorite Rush album. And the most popular one of all. Their biggest album. And they played all this excuse me, they played all these songs on the Time Machine tour they made back in 2011. 2010 and 2011 year they did the Time Machine tour. Here's At Stage Left, which is their Moving Pictures tour. And I have their DVD. I showed the DVD in the Universal DVD collection. And not all these songs are on the As It Stage Left DVD because Spirit of Radio, Beneath, Between, and Behind, Jacob's Ladder, Yeah, those songs are not on the DVD. A little bit of Boom's Bane, which Alex Lifeson wrote, is on the DVD, which transitions into the trees. Here's the remastered version of Ghost Under Pressure from 1984. Also, the first album that Neil Peart had his electronic drum set on, which those were his Simmons drums. And here's the 1984 tour that they made. And there's also a DVD counterpart for this as well, but I don't have the DVD counterpart. Hold Your Fire. Don't Wanna Silence a Desperate Voice. That's Lock and Key. One of my favorite songs in this album. It's one I've been listening to a lot now. Followed by Prime Mover and Time Stands Still, as well as playing them on the drums as well. Presto, the first album to have Neil Peart's Roland electronic drum set behind his acoustic setup. Kind of knew where his gone bass drum was. Well, the Bones, the first album to have Neil Peart have a backup floor tom on his left to give him left-hand access for different timekeeping and drum fills. Counterparts. Test for Echo, the first ever CD I've ever received, and the first ever Rush album I've ever had, back in 2017. Vapor Trails, which they made this in 2002. Yep, it even says Vapor Trails on the front end right there. Oop. And here is Russian Rio, which is their 2002 tour that they made. And they released the CD and the DVD in 2003. They recorded the show in 2002. And this has 2 bonus songs. Between the Sun and Moon, or Between Sun and Moon, just as it says, in Vital Signs. Here's this one, which has the songs Tom Sawyer to Natural Science. Disc 2, which has songs One Little Victory to 2112, Overture and Temples of Syrinx. And here's Disc 3, which has the songs Limelight to Working Man. You call him the working man. I guess that's what I am. Clockwork Angels from 2012, the last Rush studio album that they made. The ones that don't have yet, but I'm planning on getting in the future, are their debut album, Hemispheres, Signals, Power Windows, and Snakes and Arrows. I do want to get those in the future at some point. Alright. Here's my only Soundgarden that I have, Superunknown, from 1994. And the only songs that I know are Farwell and Black Days, Black Hole Sun, sorry, I almost said song, Black Hole Sun, and Spoon Man. Here's my only Stevie Ray Vaughan album, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble Instead. I need to check out the other ones. The only song I know here is Tightrope. We will have to stop here for part 2, by the way. So we'll stop here for part 2, and part 3 I'll show the rest of my CDs. Stay with us, don't go away.